guys, today I am in a new filming spot, and I'm reviewing episode 9. I got that right this time, I did it, of Shadowhunters! Okay, so first off, happy book release date to Lady Midnight. If you like me and you are absolutely dying of excitement, I have 5,000 videos coming of Lady Midnight. I'm already like 100 pages in, and I've had it for like 2 hours. And I don't know, I'm going to blame it on Lady Midnight. Because I'm reading about that Shadow World, this Shadow World I was watching, I've always been optimistic about the show. I think I've liked it the best out of anybody. And I have no problem with the changes they've made. Except for the changes they made in tonight's episode. I'm going to say, you went too far, and I'm going to have to say this has probably been my least favorite episode. It's either this one or number 3 of the entire season. I know, I'm sorry, don't hate me. I try to be optimistic. I have some good points to point out and some bad ones. I'd say the worst one was the parabatai bond. Gonna have to throw it out there. I don't know what's going on with Alec in this episode. I love Alec. He's my favorite of all the characters in the book series. And up until now, I understood him very well in the TV show. I understood him proposing to Lydia. As much as that outraged people, he was protecting his family. It's what he knows to do. And him finding out about his parents being in the circle, he releases that news to like everybody. I understand his point that his parents were hypocrites, and he says this line to his father, saying that my whole life you made me feel not good enough, but you were the hypocrite one, and we have to restore your name. And I understand where he's coming from, except for towards the end. Okay, they have arrested Melior, and this is another problem I have. Melior and Isabel were not in love. They were just like a casual fling. It wasn't that big of a deal. Isabel had never been in love before. And the fact that she would go through all this trouble to save him, God, I couldn't, I'm sorry. Lydia and the others are interrogating Melior, and he reveals that Quayle has the cup. Jace takes a picture of his ruin. It looks like an Instagram caption, I'm sorry. Sends it to Quayle, he's like, yo, you need to draw this ruin and hide yourself from the clave. And she does so, and her, Luke, and Simon are teaming up to hide him in the Hotel de Mort to train him as a vampire, and they need, like, protection. And they go to the Hotel de Mort, and they finally make a deal with Raphael, and Raphael locks them in a cage. And Quayle says this line to Simon about how she changed him, number one, she changed him to a vampire, in the book series at least, because she couldn't bear losing another person to her, and he had grown up with her. He just can't lose that, and she's like, I just wanted you to be a part of a new world. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I can't process this. And they eventually come to the conclusion that they can still be friends, or whatever, even though Simon's still kind of mad at her. Okay. The most heartbreaking scene, or I don't know, it's tied between two for me, was Malik. Magnus was here, and he's putting up all these new protections, and he offers to heal Alec again, and Alec refuses. And then Alec mentions that he's getting married to Lydia to protect his family. And Magnus had this reaction where he couldn't even look at Alec, and Magnus was so emotional, and I booked Magnus was never emotional, and I don't know, I was tearing up because I was like, so wrong, Alec, so wrong. And another thing I didn't like is that Alec is not a puppet, okay? He abides by the rules, but he does break them when he feels necessary. He's becoming Lydia's little puppet, and Lydia says this story about how her fiancé was killed because her husband was killed because he made the wrong judgment call, and then he's like, from now on, no emotion, we're all using our heads here, or whatever. I was surprised to be moved by Lydia. Lydia is not even a book character, but I was still moved by her deceased husband's story because you made the wrong call and you had to pay that price, and that is pretty tough. Why are you making me feel emotions for a character I've never felt before? I don't know. But plan is to take Melior to the Silent Brothers. They're going to torture him for information because he might not have told everything. And I don't know where Lydia went. Did she stay at the Institute? I feel like she wouldn't have stayed. Even if she was the leader, why the hell wouldn't she go on the mission with them? She is their leader. It's not Alec. Alec's like second in command to her. And he's over there leading it. And then we have this problem. Clearly unites the werewolves and the vampires and the Shadowhunters because Isabel wants to save Melior because she's not in love with him. I'm sorry, I can't. It would have been really, really good was this season 3. Clearly is not a trained Shadowhunter. She can't fight. She definitely can't talk alliances. I would have been fine with this had it been Jace talking, had it been Isabel talking. Okay, they have the authority figures. Not Clary. You're not here yet. I'm sorry. You need to wait a few seasons. The Downworlders do unite, and that was my other big issue, because the Downworlders, the big significance of Book 3 was that the Downworlders united when timing was crucial, and they did end up realizing the importance or whatnot, but not before then. Nope. The werewolves and the vampires uniting, I can't. They never united. No. Nope. Not werewolves and vampires. Not even in the 3rd book. They united with Shadowhunters, but they didn't unite with one another. I think they despised one another. And then we got to the worst part. The absolute worst part was the ending. The Parabatai bond. I feel like I'm basing this whole review on the books. I feel so bad because it's a negative review. Not my favorite episode, I'm sorry. But Alec and Jace's Parabatai bond. I don't even know where to start with that. First off, Jace convinces Magnus to steal Alec's stele so he can get the cup and the portal necklace back to Clary. Even if the Clay found that, why would they know the cup is in a card? And unless they force Clary to pull it out, it's not going to do them any good. I don't know what the point was getting it. It seemed more secure there. And number 1, Alex betraying Jace and vice versa. So long. They never betrayed one another. They didn't necessarily agree with one another, but they never betrayed one another like this, and that was my problem. And we got to the scene where they're taking out all these Shadowhunters that were with Alec, and it's only Alec left taking Melior to the City of Bones, and he's about 10 feet from the door. And Claire's like, Alec, and he turns around, and when he turns back around facing where Jace is there in front of him. And Melior escapes, and I'm like, oh no. Damn it. Because I've seen this fight scene, I just was hoping it wasn't actually in this. So, Jace and Alec fist fighting was never something I could imagine. They had arguments, whatnot, but fist fighting like that, God. I feel like that took it down for me. I had this flashback. Book 5, one of my favorite moments was at the end where Jace woke up in the infirmary and Isabel was talking about all the White Witch together. This isn't a spoiler, by the way. But he swears to Alec that they will never battle on the same side. Actually, it was Alec who swore to Jace that. And it was so touching. And the fact that they're now fist fighting and they are on opposite sides. And Jace is like, you know what this is about? This is about your feelings for me. And then Alex just kicked his ass. I really liked Alec fighting like that. And I think Jace let him win. But to be honest, I booked Jace would beat Alec. I'm sorry. I love you, Alec, but it's true. Especially with Sloth Blades. Or, I don't know what this was fist fighting. What is the point of this? And then just, eventually Alec wins. And he pulls out his Sloth Blade and holds it to Jace's throat. Even a Parabatai threatening to kill the other half. No, absolutely. Held to the no. No. I'm not okay with this. No. Really, no. Jace is like, I don't want to live in a world if we have to be on opposite sides. Come with me. And Alec is just kind of sitting there on the floor, giving up at life, and he's like, nope. I going to see with this preview of this next episode, because yeah, I saw that too. They're doing the pay-up-a-type bond wrong. And then we have this makeout scene between Isabel and Melior. Clay's behind them, awkwardly. You have this awkward scene between Simon, and he agrees to stay at the hotel to learn his new way of life. And Clary had mentioned to Simon when they were in the cage that, like, she couldn't be found him, and Simon's getting the wrong idea. And Jace is looking away while she's hugging Simon. Come on, man. Stop this. It's making this awkward here. One good thing. Okay, the Malik scene was good. Isabel fighting and using her whip and her strategy and her wit and her organizing the fight was good. Those good points. The parents are going back to Idris, thank God. They have played no asset to the show so far, but they are leaving Lydia in charge, so that'll be fun. And another good thing, the Clace kiss. It was actually comfortable because it wasn't in front of 20,000 people. It was private and secret and good, and I liked it. So, other good things, because I feel like this is too negative. Okay, Isabel's acting. She was Isabel. She is not some lab tech anymore. She is like a smart, confident, and powering leader, strong-ass female. A+ job to Isabel in this episode. Alberto and Matthew Dodo's acting. And Magnus too. Like I said, Magnus brought me to tears. When Alberto was talking about scenes with, even that scene of his mother kind of stirred up some emotions in me, because he's like, I'll always love you, and I mean, we know what happens in the book. And even scenes when he was talking to Clary about how he had to accept his new way of life, I was just like, oh, Alberto, you are playing Simon so well. And Matthew Dodoyo, when he put the Salaf blade, as much as I hated that scene, to Jace's throat, and then Jace said that, I don't want to live without you, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of, I don't know, sat back down, released Jace or whatever, and he had this purely broken look on his face. I couldn't even process it. I was like, oh God, because Jace knows about Alex's feelings now. I'm getting teary-eyed, I don't know why. The dawning realization, we saw in episode 4, Alec was horrified for Jace to find out about his feelings, and he did everything to disprove it. And cat's out of the bag now, and I feel so bad for Alec, because it's like his parents treat him like crap, and Jace had to go pull that one line. And Alex, just be loved. Don't say goodbye, Magnus. Please don't. Please come back. I can't watch this wedding of Lydia and Alec. I swear to God, I'll probably cry doing it, because I feel so bad for Alec. I know what his point of view is. As much as I hated him in like the second half of this, because you're not a puppet master. You are allowed to do your own things. It's why you hate your parents, because they make you a puppet master, and you just traded your parents for Lydia, Alec. I'm sorry, but it's true. But he had this completely broken look on his face, and even when he said no to Jace, I was moved completely. I could imagine Alec looking like that in a lot of scenes in the book, just having, the broken despair face. He's always described as being miserable or looking like depressed and sad, and it's just like, Matthew Dodoyo matched that perfectly. How many good points am I up to now? 5? 6? 6? I think I'm at 6. I don't know. But, I mean, it wasn't horrendous. It was just not my favorite. I would give this rating, like I said, it was my least favorite of all of them. Yeah, I'd give it like a D-. I'm sorry, I didn't like it. It was because Clary had stepped too far in authority, and Jace was no authority at all. I don't know what Jace was doing. Jace is our leader here, not Clary. I'm sorry. Get that right, people. And Alec, I don't know. Just the pair beside one. I see the previews where they're both laying in bed in this opposite universe. I don't know how this next episode is going to play out because they're in opposite universes. And Alec is screaming Jace's name and vice versa. I'm begging they take the pair beside bond and put it in its rightful place. Please. And please cancel Alec's wedding. I like Lydia. I don't want you to be married to Alec. I'm sorry, I don't like you that much. So yeah, I'm sorry if this was a negative, bad review, but this is not my favorite episode. Hopefully next week will be better. I still love the show, guys. This was a bad episode. It was too dramatic for me too. It was kind of like a soap opera scenario with so much drama between friends and relationships, and I was like, this is not Shadowhunters. Shadowhunters are serious and kick-ass. This is not them. But I'm Annalyse. Thank you for watching. Please don't hate me too much for leaving this review. Bye!